Courtesy of GoolRC.com, we have the new JXD Invaders Quadcopter. It comes with a 2.4 GHz transmitter and a 3 megapixel camera. It comes in two versions. This is the non-Wi-Fi version, and you'll know by the numbers at the end, because the end of the number will be 515V. The Wi-Fi version is 515W. Now you can get a discount on this, and I'll put it in a link in the description below. The discount code is for around £10, and you can get it from Amazon, and it's fulfilled by Amazon itself. The quadcopter has quite a lot of features in it, including altitude hold. You can flip the quad, and you can record with the little 3 megapixel camera, take photographs, and you've got different rates in that. I'll go through that with you when I get everything out of the box, and that's it. Let's get everything out of the box. Right, that's us got everything out of the box, and as always you get a nice manual. Now I must admit, the manual is very good. It explains in deep detail what everything does, all the buttons on your controller. But even though this is the non-Wi-Fi version, it does give you the app to download, so just ignore that, okay? I had to look that up at first because I did think it was the Wi-Fi version, and it's not, so ignore that. Not unless you do get the Wi-Fi version, like I said, that is 515W at the end. So there's your manual there. You have your 2.4 gigahertz controller. Now this is a really nice controller. It fits in your hands really good, and as always you have little thumbstick buttons at the end, and I'll go through that with you. As you turn it on, you can see a little blinking light there, and you need to press and hold it to turn off, and you'll hear it making a little noise. Now it has altitude hold, so it will hover hands-free. This is your throttle stick here, so it will altitude hold if you don't touch the throttle at all. You will have to probably add a little trim and break your battery and your motors in to get the best out of the quadcopter. Now as you can see here, you have a video record button and a photograph button. Now in the little goodie bag, you'll notice, let me just get everything out quickly so I can show you. You have a little USB adapter, and that has a 4 gig mini SD card in it. Now you slot the mini SD card underneath the quad where the 3 megapixel camera is. What way do you go in again? I forgot. Is it this way? No, it must be the other way. Yes, it is. There you go. That's the SD card slotted in. They're all nice, and right, I'll just put that away. So when you have everything hooked up, you can video or take a picture. Now on the this quadcopter is different because you have to start the quad up by pushing this button here, and you can also, it has an automatic land switch, so it's not a return to home key, it's just an automatic land. So if you hover it around, say here, and press that button, it will automatically land to the ground. Really nice. It also has headless mode, which is this button here. You press it once to activate it and press it again to deactivate it. And of course you have your trim buttons on the opposite side. You have your rate switch as usual, 3 rates. So for every time you hear a beep is how fast it will be. 1 beep is slow, 2 beep is medium, and 3 is fast. On the right hand side you have your flips button as usual as well. You just press it and flip into what direction you want to go. So that's pretty much it for the controller settings. And as I opened the goodie bag, you noticed there were spare prop grid protectors. These are to protect your propellers. Now it's tri-blade propellers. They're about 30 millimeters in length. You have a spare set, and you have, like I said, your spare set of prop guard, because this is basically an Inductrix clone, and your little USB stick, so after you've recorded you can just slot it in there and play back your video or look at your photographs on your computer. And you have a USB charging stick. Now this is the funny thing, this isn't a 1-cell quadcopter, it is a 2-cell quadcopter. It comes with a, if you can see here, let me just focus that up. It comes with a 2-cell 350 mAh 7.4 volt LiPo battery, and the plug on that is a little lossy plug with your balance plug here. I mean, I did use this at first. It charges it up no problem, but I decided just to plug it into my own charger, and it charges up really well that way. The dimensions on the battery are 48 millimeters approximately by, and this is on the width, 25 millimeters, and thickness is roughly about 9 millimeters. And that's the battery there out of the way. Right, let's go over to the quadcopter itself. Like I said, this is just a quick unboxing. It is an Inductrix clone. It's really, really light, and I must admit it is really light for what it is, and you'll see here it weighs in at 63 grams, and the battery itself on top, so 63 grams plus the battery comes in at 85 grams, so it's really light. And I must say it's really sturdy as well, because I've crashed it quite a few times, and the reason why it's very sturdy is underneath, if you look, we've got carbon fiber rods, square rods, supporting the whole frame itself from each motor, and on the opposite side as well. And you can see your 3 megapixel camera under there, where it just plugs in here. Now if you don't want to use it, just unplug it and take the camera off, and you'll get more flight time. And you have your on and off switch here, and to open the quad you just pull it back and open it up, and put your battery inside. Now it's not really fumbly once you get used to knowing how to put the battery in. Now the way I put it in is I usually just plug it in that way, make sure the balance lead is facing on the right hand side of the quad, push it all in like so, make sure you hook it on those little catches and clip it in, and that is you good to go. And I like the way they've put carbon fiber square rods here. It really does make it quite robust when you do crash, but it is very light indeed. and it looks like some kind of space age craft, like a Batman craft. It's really cool indeed, and like I said, your props are protected by the prop guards. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things about this quad because for me personally, I would take this little camera off and put an FPV camera on this, and you're going to have a cracking little quad to fly around the house. Yeah, so the quadcopter's around 120 millimeters from motor shaft to motor shaft, so it's quite small indeed. I haven't brought another quad here to compare it to, but inside it is really, let me just open it quickly again. Inside, I don't know if you can see, it is really hollow. You know, you've only got your main board in there, so I'm sure that you would be able to cut a bit of the frame apart and put a little AIO camera on it, 25 milliwatt camera, FPV camera on it, or just set it in there, you know, make it look super cool, and off you go. Like I said, 2-cell LiPo battery, so we're going to need to see how this thing flies, and that we shall do, as well as seeing how the little 3 megapixel camera holds up. I do believe I have went through everything. Like I said, this was a real short unboxing, and it was courtesy of GoolRC.com with a £10 discount, believe it or not. I had spoken to them last night and I was quite surprised because this thing goes for £40, Great British pounds, so you're getting £10 off. You do put a discount code in at the checkout, and the discount code will be in the link in the description. It also will be next to my finger somewhere around about here. And there you have it. I hope you've liked this little review on this quadcopter. Now we're going to take it for a wee fly and see how it fares in a little bit of wind. Like I say, it's really light, so I'm guessing we're going to need to be in very high rates. Oh, one thing I meant to mention is it does come with LED lights. Now there you have the LED lights blinking away. Now I'm going to turn the controller on, and the way you arm it is the normal way. You just press it up and press it down, and that's you armed. Now you can see blue for the front, white for the back, and I've not put the battery into the quad, so I'm not going to do it just now. You just start the quadcopter off by pushing the start button, and if you want to land it, just press that button again and it will auto land itself. Remember, it does have altitude hold, so we'll have fun with that. And there you go, let's take it out for a fly and have some fun. Okay, now we are in altitude hold. I am barely, well, I'm having to compensate because the breeze has just picked up now, so I'm getting blown over to the right hand side just a little bit. I'm going to start recording and we can see what the filming's like. There's my son over, I'm coming over to him, here he is. I'm hoping that's recording, as you can see. Right, don't come too close, son. Aaron, you're coming too close, can you get back a bit? I'm going to bring it over and do some flips, okay? Let's do a flip. That's an excellent flip. Now what mode are we in? I think that's rate 3. We'll do another flip. Let's see the range. Now, really hard to see this thing, it's that small. Say hello! Like I says, altitude hold. I am not touching it just now, but the wind is blowing it over to the right hand side. And it also has headless mode. The flips are really good on this quad, really good indeed. Let's see how fast it can go. Right, remember it is a 2-cell. We'll just fly over my son's head. but that's fine. Whee! This is a great little quadcopter. If you were to put a little FPV camera on there, it's pretty neat for flying in the house. I'm also going to do a little indoor flight as well. I don't know if you're seeing most of the ground just now, but there you have it. Flips are really good. You can hear the noise off it. It's not too bad. I'm hoping it's recording. I can feel the battery draining down just a little bit. That's probably because I had it plugged in earlier on. So I don't really know what the full flight time is yet. Remember, it's running on a 2-cell LiPo, 380 mAh, and recording at the same time. So if you, oh, the wind picked it up there. If you were, I think it's dying down now. If you were to take that camera off, you'll get a lot longer flight time. And I have broken the motors in just a little bit and the battery. That wind's pushing me again. You really don't want to fly this on a windy day. Where am I facing? Yeah. You like this quad, Aaron? Yep. Yep. And look at that. Go push it away, Aaron. Push it away. The guards are totally... Oh! And that's the good thing when it hits something or it lands in the ground. If you put it on the pathway or the wall, if it hits something or lands in the ground, it will totally cut off.
And there is rubber and...
Right, because you turn it up, Aaron, it will cut off, so don't worry. That means you'll just need to start it up again. And as I was talking about that automatic landing, if I was to take it over to the path, press a button and it landed all by itself. I did not have to do a thing. And I'll start it up again and bring it up and push the button and it will land again by itself. So it does have an automatic cut-off system to protect the quadcopter. When it hits the ground, it should cut off. I think the battery's just about dying now because I'm on full stick just now and the wind is blowing me backwards. And there you have it. That's the Invaders little quadcopter with your 3 megapixel camera on it. But I'd love to. I'm going to put a little FPV camera on this and see how it goes. Right, let's get an inside flight. Now we have our little indoor flight, as you can see. I've taken the camera off the bottom, so it should hover a lot better. That's me not touching anything. Well, I'm recorrecting it. I could use a little bit of trim probably. That's the altitude hold. So maybe a wee bit of forward trim. What to do the trick? Let's have a look. Turn it off a bit. And a bit of forward trim. So yeah, it hovers pretty steady. What rate we're on? Yeah, that's a higher rate. Remember the white lights are for the back and the blue for the front. We'll go for a flip. Look how lovely and easy it is to flip it. It really is. As you very well know, there's not a lot of space in here, so this is just a brilliant quad for indoors. It's just the right size, it really is. And on a 2-cell LiPo, it's not too powerful, it's not too slow, it's just about right. Flight times, I would expect, well outside, with the camera recording, is nearly 7 minutes, so I'm guessing, I don't know, we'll get 8 minutes plus flight time without the camera. Okay, flip. Having a smashing time here. But after all, this is what this quad's about, with its top guard. You can bash it off of things. I've not got my screen, my projector screen there, so that's just a plain wall, so I can just bounce off of that and nothing will happen. So sometimes the quad does tend to want to climb a little bit, even though you're not giving it any stick input, but trying to trim all that out can be a little bit of a pain, but the flips are really nice and clean. They really are. Well, thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and happy flying!